Hey, what's going on YouTube? Hope you guys are all having a great day. We're going to jump right into it. I wanted to give you guys a daily update slash overview of kind of what I'm seeing in the dark pool. So without further ado, we'll jump right into it. The chart that I do have up currently is the dark pool money flow. And this dates all the way back to January. And I pulled this chart up for, but I think it's important to realize you could see this big spike. This is right around when we had our first original run up back in January. And then you see it's kind of flatted out. There wasn't much activity. I mean, yeah, it was still a lot of activity, but nothing compared to what we've seen. And then as we enter June, as we're seeing these major price increases, we are seeing this number jump up. You could just follow this graph and see it just spiked up. So I thought that was pretty interesting when you actually follow the money. That being said, let's jump right into the overall data for today. So the dark pool had 82 million in volume. That accounted for 60% of the actual volume in the whole market today when it comes to AMC, which again circles me back to it's pretty gruesome out there what they're doing in the dark pools and stuff. I know a lot of people have different ideas or speculations on what is happening, and the problem is that nobody really knows. So we only can do our best when it comes to just guessing or trying to take the data and read it or interpret it a way that makes the most sense, right? So with that being said, I think that 60% of the volume going on in the dark pool is not necessarily a good thing. So let me refresh this for today because I haven't refreshed it. It's probably not updated, but we will check. So refreshing. Let's type in AMC in the ticker here. Okay, so it looks like there was a net short volume of 17 million. So if you go back to my previous videos, my theory, I tend to agree with Squeeze Metrics that this is representative of them shorting shares to actually buyers. So they're fulfilling buy orders, but they're shorting the stock to do that. So that's what this represents. There were 17 million shares short. That equates to $947 million today in short positions in AMC. And what's crazy about this, if you look at this rolling 20-day position down here that's on the screen, we can kind of see, pay attention to these two blue lines, like this, I guess, T1 and this more like a sky blue. So you can see the sky blue represents the actual short position value. So like if you see where it says right here, this was on this day, February 22nd, there was 7 million shares shorted in the dark pool. But if you look at this line as we get into June, you just see it's just literally almost like a market crash where it just dives down. The short positions being basically generated in the dark pool is absolutely crazy right now. So this is yesterday. There was 27 million shares shorted in the dark pool. That was $947 million. So this doesn't even show what today's data is looking like. But I just want you to pay attention to this line and how as we kind of crossed into June, we just seen the short positions go bonkers. Absolutely crazy. And to me, what this means for us is they're doubling down. Really, it's the only way I can take of it. There's obviously an element where market makers are making money off of payment for order flow and the spreads and quoting spreads that are happening in the dark pool. That's a whole other element too. So it's not like it's just nefarious and they're going to go, well, obviously what's happening with AMC, but understand that there's a lot of different dark pools that people play in. And there's a lot of reasons why market makers do business in there because of the money they can make on being the actual market maker, especially these bigger ones that are taking a huge percentage of the order flow. So they're executing a large order of the order flow. So very interesting to think about. And like I said, I'm going to be paying attention to this. This is a huge steep graph down. So unique to think about. And obviously they're double downing in their position. Interesting thing too. So it's beginning, guys. We've seen that this was announced this morning that GameStop short seller, basically White Square Capital, shuts down after suffering huge losses during the retail trading frenzy earlier this year. So think about this, like we're hearing about this now. So even though the damage was done in January, we're not hearing about it till now. So I'd expect that similar chain of events to happen, right? Maybe the people that are getting crippled by losing to the apes right now, we'll see in the following months, maybe a similar story. Another big thing, you guys know, the 002 is getting passed tomorrow. If you don't know what that is, I have a really good video that's really brief that explains it. But basically, short positions are, and just the quickest way I could put it, short positions are going to be monitored on a daily, even like a minute by minute basis. And if they basically, the NSCC determines that you're over leveraged, they're going to basically require you to deposit more cash And if you don't have that cash, well, that's where you can potentially lead to margin calls, et cetera, et cetera. So that being said, guys, I told you I was going to keep it brief, and I hope it was. With that being said, if you guys enjoyed the content, please do me a favor, drop a like, subscribe. It does me a huge, I guess, help or favor when it comes to ranking the algorithms and obviously spreading the message. I think that eventually, that if we keep getting this message out, the SEC might step in and do something. I'm not saying that they're going to ever just come out and pull out dark pools. I don't think that's realistic, but maybe there could be some higher form of regulation. So that being said, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Love you long time. Peace.